He streams a bunch of crazy decks, and he looks like a Twilight Vampire, and I like that. So it is a blue-white Delver Mirror. Andre is actually running Augur Bolus, where Kyle is not. And Kyle has a Batterskull in the sideboard. Very interesting, like one-up. We used, for a while there, we thought it was really good in the mirror. Just having that extra Batterskull.
Really?
I mean, you remember back at Baltimore, everyone had a Batterskull for the Invitational. We all did. So a Spirit Cavern Resolving Geist, can't counter that, and a Legendary. So we're going to legend out both Geist of St. Traft's, and we're going to go to Kyle's 4th turn.
And another Geist for Kyle, and this time, just cast that.
Yeah, second Geist.
Uh-oh,
does Andre have another answer for it? Because Geist resolved and not dealt with is just a win for a blue-white Delver Mirror. If you can't deal with the Geist, it's just game over. There is a Phantasmal Image, copies the Geist, moves back to Kyle's turn. Now, if Kyle does something that taps him out, and usually the mana leaks are bad in the mirror, Andre's going to slam a Tamiyo and start doing work.
It looks like Kyle has timely reinforcements? Is that...
He does have timely reinforcements in a great sideboard. Did he bring them in? They're not that good in the mirror anymore. Another card everyone thought was good. The funny thing about the Delver Mirrors is all these cards are crazy. Alright, so he's just running out there seeing if there's a mana leak. We always tried all these different things. We just figured out that no, it's just the same 75 or same 60 you always run, but just make sure you have 4 Image, 4 Geist. Like that's how you do well in the mirror. Nothing really spicy. You just run out the same good spells.
Alright, so Andre going to get in there for a lot of damage this turn.
Yeah, not only does he have a Geist, but he has a Tamiyo out there. That is not a legal
token. Lorthos. I was Lorthos the Time Maker for Halloween.
Were you really?
2 years ago.
That's awesome.
Some nice pictures of that.
So Gutshot's going to... Is he going to pay... What's he going to pay with? Just life? So he pays life. Wants to keep open Cryptic Command mana up. Oh, sorry, I was watching too much of the Players' Champs. And Snapcaster Mage comes down to get that Snapcaster out of the way. Flashes back the Gutshot. Drops Andre to 16, but this is going to drop Kyle to 12. Now, I don't know what he's keeping that mana open for.
Yeah, I guess he's got a Restoration Angel in his hand. But then he would have blinked that Snapcaster.
Yeah, and blocked.
And gotten to counter the second Gutshot.
Yeah, so I don't think he does have... I don't think he has a Restoration Angel.
If he had a Restoration Angel, then...
Ooh, wow, the Augur actually whiffed. Because I'm not a big fan of the Augur. At first, I really liked him, but... Now I'm not a big fan, because he only hits about 70% of the time. And that's kind of the rough part about him.
When he hits, he's pretty awesome.
It's pretty sweet.
He is.
Alright, so 3 mana gets tapped, and this is going to be Timely Reinforcements, bringing Kyle back up to 18, and putting a board presence on the board for Kyle. So Andre is going to have to deal with these tokens before his Geist can attack. This is probably going to let Andre get in with his Tamiyo and start getting work done. And now Geist is probably just going to play defense with the Augur and protect the Tamiyo from these 1/1 soldiers. Because that is just a ticking time bomb. Once that gets to 8, you get to ultimate it, and for the rest of the game, you have as many spells as you want. And I've never seen someone win through a Tamiyo emblem.
Yeah, Vapor Snag with the Tamiyo emblem, pretty nice.
I'll bounce that, and that's the actual first tweet that I put on the internet when I saw Tamiyo. I'll Vapor Snag that, and that, and that. Oh, and how many more blue islands do I have open? And that, and that. I've actually never ultimated one yet. I really want to. Everyone concedes when you hit 8.
Do you want to know the first time I ultimated Tamiyo?
You thought Scoured.
What?
Did you thought Scoured?
The first time I ultimated Tamiyo was my first game of the pre-release of the set.
Oh, it's so lucky. Did you play to it, though? Like, you could have beat him in other ways, but you decided to play to your Tamiyo?
No, it was correct.
Oh, that's boring. All right, so Augur is going to come in, and Kyle's just going to chump it with 1. It's interesting that he attacked with the Augur.
That's a chump block that I don't necessarily agree with,
just
unless
take
he has
1.
Another timely reinforcements in his hand, maybe?
Yeah, I would just take 1. There's Tamiyo. Tamiyo gets slammed down. Kyle's going to have to let this resolve, and Tamiyo's probably going to lock down soldiers. Next turn, Geist will be able to attack. Sometimes when you get behind, you just feel like you need to chump block for no reason, right? Like that.
I mean, that was not a chump block I would have made.
No, just go to 17. It's 1 life point.
I also don't see the difference between blocking with all 3 and blocking with 1.
No, if it gets Vapor Snag, you lose 1.
You still lose 1 if you get a Vapor Snag, and if he doesn't do anything, then you just get to kill it. And so right now, if you had just blocked with all 3, like, yeah, you would still have the Tamiyo problem.
But I think he does have another timely.
But I mean, still, don't you block with all 3 then?
But then you both lose 1 creature, and then it's 2 versus 2. Where now you're going to be able to make 3 tokens. Oh, he has Batterskull too, wow.
None of these cards really that well positioned against the board position of Andre Yanyuk. Alright, so Kyle really, really thinking about this decision here. Looks like he has an Angel in hand. Also has his Timer Reinforcements and a Batterskull. Casting another Timer Reinforcements, not necessarily, he chooses instead to do nothing. So his plan here is to Angel. Gotta be a little bit more efficient with his mana. I mean, he's gonna Angel here, and he could have cast that Batterskull. And yeah, the Batterskull's not good.
Yeah,
but
it's just gonna get tapped, and then he can make a 5/5 and attack and spend his whole turn. And
yeah, but I mean, he's been inefficient with his mana for a few turns now. You know, next turn he'll be able to activate a Moorland Haunt if he has one, and also cast an Angel. Turns before, he could have been doing things like Angel or doing things like Batterskull instead of playing 3 mana cards when he has 5 mana available to him.
Yeah, so he's going to use his Tamiyo to tap down the soldier and just get in there with his entire team. This is going to be 9 damage, but Restoration comes down. Does Andre have the Vapor Snake to make it a full 10 damage for 1 turn? I feel like your opponent says go with 6 mana, you have to know that there is a Restoration coming your way. So there's Vapor Snake dropping Kyle to 17, then taking 9, dropping him to 8. All the while, this Tamiyo is ticked up to 6, so next turn, if he wants, he might be able to do something to try to draw cards. I love, if you ever get 3 cards off of Tamiyo in this mirror, it's so powerful.
It's pretty huge.
There's a Thought Scour targeting himself, milling over Island, Vapor Snag. Trying to find maybe a Delver or something that gives him even more of an advantage.
And let's see. Can Kyle come up with a plan to stop this? It doesn't look like he can. Tamiyo is just taking over the board and threatening to just take over the game completely.
Yeah, he's definitely back against the wall. He's facing a legendary planeswalker as well as a Geist of St. Traft.
Yeah, so another Timely Reinforcements comes down. Gonna give Kyle another 3 tokens, giving him 5 guys in play now, and gaining him 6 life. Will this be enough to get Kyle back in the game?
It just sucks because he's fighting against 2 fronts. Not only does his opponent have a planeswalker that's trying to tick to 8, once it happens to 8, the game is over. As well as trying to deal with a board presence of Geist of St. Traft attacking. So there comes a Phantasma Image copying Geist. Geist is going to die. So he does have a bigger board position, and now Andre has to find a way to protect himself against all these tokens. The tokens can start attacking. So 1 token's going to come in at that planeswalker.
Yeah, important for Kyle to find balance here.
So here comes a Moorland Haunt token. This is going to give him a Spirit.
So, Andre, thinking about sending everybody, decides that that's the play.
I like it. Let's clear this board up. If you don't take anything, you draw 3 extra cards.
Yep.
Tamiyo is a good planeswalker, but you don't need to spend the entire game trying to protect it. It's not the most important thing in the world.
Yeah, I mean, you just use it to draw a ton of cards. So here he's going to be drawing like 3 or 4 cards off this Tamiyo this turn.
Alright, so he is going to trade for Snapcaster. It's so hard not to use one of your tokens to block a Snapcaster mage.
So looks like Andre's going to get to draw 4 cards if he's
Divine Deflection, wow. So he takes down 2 of the tokens, keeps Snapcaster alive, puts his opponent down to just 3 permanents, and now is he going to tick up? No, he's going to draw. So he's going to draw 3 cards. Wow, that's
4.
divine.
3. 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a Delver of Secrets.
Kyle, gonna need a miracle here.
One time and treat. He does not have a miracle, by the way.
Alright, so another land from Kyle here. Not what he wants to be drawing.
Alright, so he has that Batter Skull and that Restoration Angel, but both are going to have a tough time dealing with that Tamiyo. What is it? What do we call it? Tamiyo?
Tamiyo.
Can we just call it whatever we want? It's kind of Kamaba. She is from Kamigawa, so...
She's a moon sage.
Yeah, so she's from Kamigawa. The rules of
she's
pronunciation
like one of the
don't matter.
Tommy people.
Yeah, so the rules of pronunciation don't count. So we can call her whatever we want.
I agree. I like that.
That's Kamigawa rule. If you come from Kamigawa, you can call it whatever you want. Jitty, Jite, whatever. Doesn't matter. So Kyle's still trying to make a decision, trying to get out of here. He's got a Restoration Angel and a Batter Skull, both very amazing cards, very bad in this position. Gonna say go, gonna use that Restoration Angel.
And a gut shot off the top for Andre. He's gonna flip this Delver over.
Shut the door even more on Kyle. He will be able to just send his whole team again and draw 3 cards if he wants to, and I like that play. You don't need, as long as you have a way to deal with that Restoration Angel.
Yeah, but Kyle now running out of steam. Been using these timely reinforcements just to stay in the game, not really trying to get ahead with them.
It's usually what they do, but if you're playing timely reinforcements, so your opponent's still doing more and more powerful things after that. It's very hard for that card to be that effective. So here comes 4 mana for a Restoration Angel. Kyle, can see the writing on the wall. He knows that this isn't really going to do much. Obviously, Andre has already seen this Restoration Angel, knows it's coming. Says that's okay. We're going to block like that. We're going to Snapcast to show a Divine Deflection. Oh no, there's no... Oh, I really thought that was going to happen. I was really looking forward to that, yeah.
That would have been a pretty nice one.
No, just going to gut shot the Restoration Angel. And yeah, he should do it now. Shouldn't do it after combat so like a Vapor Snag doesn't protect it. By playing it right now, then Kyle either Vapor Snags the Delver or has to let his Angel die. It's a good way to play around Vapor Snag. So now Andre can either tap down a guy or draw. So he's going to choose to draw. He's going to draw 2 cards. It's risky because if he doesn't find anything... Alright, so he did find something. Because, and he did find a blue source too, so now he has a... Yeah, so maybe he had a blue source where he could just make 2 tokens if he didn't draw anything. Yeah, he might have already had another white source.
At this point, he can just start pumping out spirits.
Yes.
Gitaxian Probe here from Kyle. We're going to take a look at an island and a Seachrome Coast, realizing Andre hasn't really drawn much in most recent turns.
If we find a single answer to a creature, we can get rid of that Tamiyo, we can drop the Batter Skull, and Kyle's just going to take over the game. Is that a removal spell? Oh, yeah, so he's just going to take it out that way. He doesn't want to lose one of his tokens. He's going to slam Batterskull. Whew! Kyle's back in this.
Yeah.
And Andre's like, excuse me, what?
Wait a second.
This doesn't seem appropriate. So he's going to give him his Lorthos token, which is not a legal token, and make a Spirit token. So right now, if Andre top decks either a Snapcaster Mage or a Vapor Snake, the game is just over. Yeah, a Vapor Snake drops Kyle to 1, chumping both of his creatures, and he looks through his graveyard. Is that the, oops, I did it again, I top decked the card I needed?
And if you drew a Snapcaster or Vapor Snag, he's in a really good spot here.
Interesting.
You guys may need to talk later.
Oh, yes, alright, so that's... He's going to make blocks. He's going to Vapor Snag, grabbing Divine Deflection, and does that work? Oh, it prevents the damage and then redirects a different source. The Divine Deflection is actually the source, so the life gain doesn't happen anymore. Great way of using that Snapcaster Mage, way cooler than Vapor Snag. Finishes off the game. That's going to do it. Andre's probably